everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Drawsome, the weekly sketching show that kind of shows you how to draw different types of things based on a prompt list. And we're almost done with the year. Last week we were doing ribbons and I showed you how to do the shading, and this week we're doing teapots. And teapots, I know we did teacups already at the beginning of the year, and I'll put a link to that video at the over here. And but I love teapots. I collect them. Teacups, the little plates that go under the teacups. I collect the whole thing, the trays, the whole thing. I have quite a collection, and so I have a lot of teapots. But what I thought today, what we do is change it up just a little bit. Instead of just doing a black and white drawing, I'm going to draw one of the most famous teapots, Mrs. Potts from Beauty and the Beast. And we're going to color in and everything. So it's going to be more of a complete illustration. More along the lines of what Jen does. You got to go check her video out too on her channel. And so yeah, that's what we're going to do. So I pulled up a picture of Mrs. Potts, and so I'm just going to jump in and start sketching her. Now, I saw so many pictures of her, but in most of them it almost looked like a front view, and it looked like a bodiless elephant, and I was just like, no, that's not going to work. But I did find one that was really adorable, and so I'm going to use it as my reference photo. I'm trying to make sure I get all these angles correct so that when we go to ink it, we have the proper shape and all that good stuff. And if you notice, it's already starting to look like a trunk of an elephant. Now, I'm not sure about the person who draws her for Disney, and I've never seen any kind of tutorial or anything like that, because if you go to I think it's Epcot, pretty sure it's Epcot, you can actually sit in on classes that teach you how to draw all of the different characters, which is super fun because it's like a step-by-step, and everybody comes out with like a picture that they drew that looks just like the character, which is really cool. I've done it a few times, and it's always a blast because it's, like I said, step by step, and it's awesome. I have no idea what the steps would be for Mrs. Potts though, but she's a cutie for a teapot. And this eye's going to be slightly larger. And I'm just sketching what I see first and foremost. Very large upward eyebrows. And I mean, whenever you're drawing something along these lines, you know, something that you may have never drawn before, it's always a good thing to just look at the reference picture and just draw what it is you see. That is the easiest way. And you can always go back, and that's the good thing about sketching, is that you can always go back and change things up. You don't have to stick with the original sketch. And I've been saying that since January 1. And I screwed that up already. Let's use my other eraser. This one just has a tendency to get it off this paper. Sorry if I'm wiggling the camera. So there's a line that comes up under here. It comes behind her eyebrows. And it also is part of this line here. So this line needs to go bye-byes. There we go. Now, if you see her nose, which is also the pour spout, it comes down and stops. And then a lip starts on that same plane and comes up into like a little cheek. And then it's like she's got lipstick on. And it comes down. And then back up. Into another lip. And then this tongue. And then an outside lip. And then a chin. She's kind of chubby. Like a teapot would be. Make that bigger. And then she has like little bitty crow's feet. And her eyelashes. And it looks like she has 4 on each side. 4 or 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. And then we'll continue with this. And some of these come down lower than others. And this one comes into the eyebrow and comes up out of it. And a V, and then into a loop. And this comes back into itself. And then behind here is her handle. And it disappears behind her and comes out like that. And let's see. And there's the top of her lid. And it comes out of here and here. And in the top of it looks like there's like a little crown. And all this connects. And inside the crown is a ball. Like so, which is the handle you'd pull. And then we have this cute little, the bottom that she sits on, which looks like it's always a little off center, like she's in movement, she's moving a little bit. Can everybody see this? Okay, good. And it comes like that, which is kind of odd that it stops like this, but it does. And then she has like little ruffles around her that look like petals. and each one, every other one has a little line in it. Okay, so there we've got the sketch done. And now I'm going to ink it, and then we'll add a little color. So I'm just using a brush pen, that Spectrum Noir art liner. And brush pens can be a little tricky to use if you're not used to using them, because you can get different weights, different line weights very easily, almost too easily. And if you're unfamiliar with how they work, you can have a mess. I mean, a real mess. And if you're shaky like me too, that doesn't help. I gotta stop drinking coffee right before I start filming. And then this, our eyebrow. And they are black, as most cartoon characters are. And the flicky eyelashes. There's another thing about sketching something out first before you color it in or anything like that, is you can get those lines where it's almost like a coloring book. Which just makes it kind of fun. I love making coloring books and coloring pages and things like that. Let me know in the comments below if you like to make cartoon pages or coloring pages for yourself or for people you know who like to color, because it's fun. This line work isn't the greatest. I really am shaky today. I don't know. I don't normally shake this bad. But we can clean it up. That's not a problem. Boy, that was bad. Oof. Okay, we're going to color in her eyes because they're normally black also. I think once any character you draw, whether it be realism or cartoon or semi-realism or what have you, doesn't really look finished until you get the eyes done. Alrighty, so let's let this dry a little. I'm gonna go in here and take some of these sketch lines out. So we don't need them. We don't want them because it'll get in the way of our coloring. And she's got very simple colors to her. It's pink, purple, like a very light turquoise, and yellow. And that's it. And with cartoons, you don't have to worry about a lot of shading and all that kind of stuff. Oh, forgot a line. Here we go. I really shouldn't be brushing this off with my hand. I should be using a brush or something, which I have one. I'm just too lazy to get it out. As you can see how when you take the sketch lines, whoops, you take the sketch lines out, it cleans this up a lot. Doesn't look as shaky, and it just looks cleaner. I think she came out darling. There we go. Okay. Now, for the fun part. Not that all of it isn't fun, it's all fun. The only thing I did not have a watercolor pencil in the teal. So I'm just using this blue coloring pencil. Just a regular old colored pencil. And I'm going to do every other petal here, because it's the only blue she has on her. 3 little petals, that's it. Of course, if you saw like Disney's replica teapot sets with her and Chip, they go all the way around. But that's the only place they have them. Alright. And then up here is pink. Now this is a watercolor pencil. So I'm going to be adding a little bit of water just to kind of spread it around. And this is a pink. We'll just go and do all one color first and then just keep adding colors. And then these are pink, every other petal down here. And that's all the pink she has. So the purple, which I picked out like a lavender, but it's dark, is up under here. And then down here, I mean, she's very simple. I mean, as long as you get her facial expression right, you can pretty much, it's foolproof, really. I mean, seriously. And then yellow, and that's here. And this will be very, once I hit it with the water brush, this will look really awesome. Because these get a lot brighter and smoothed out, and it'll look really good. And her handle. I wonder who it was who came up with this cute little idea of her and Chip. I mean, I know it's part of the story and everything, how everything got turned into inanimate objects, or actually animated objects. But it's just so adorable the way they drew them. And then this room down here. And let's see, inside her mouth and her lips here. Her lips are this pink. And then her tongue is like a super light pink, so I'm gonna wait on that. And then on the inside here is like that purplish. And then this is like a super dark purple, so we'll have to really push harder there. And I'll just lightly go over her tongue so it looks pink. All right, so let's hit it with the water brush. So there she is, Mrs. Potts. Mrs. Potts. Yeah, I think she came out adorable. So if you enjoyed this and if you followed along, I hope you did. Show me what you drew. I would love to see it, and so would Jen. So make sure you post it over on Instagram with the hashtag Drawsome Squad, so Jen and I can take a look and see what you drew, and maybe you'll get featured in next week's video and get a shout out. So until next week, I sure do love you bunches. See y'all then. Bye.